Entertainment. Brian Wilson, Mary Catherine Ham, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority. 105.9 FM. AM 630. WMAL.
7:37 on a Friday morning. It feels like fall. There's football all weekend long.
There you go.
Who's excited? And we have Trevor Matich with us. Tell us all about the Redskins. Redskins Analyst. How's it going, Trevor?
It's going great, Mary Catherine. How are you?
So, the Redskins taking on the Rams this weekend after a demoralizing loss to the Cowboys. Sorry to bring it up, everyone.
I know.
What is your sense? Have they been able to stave off the demons of doubt this week?
Yeah, we'll find that out, Mary Catherine, and that's the big question because this team has been a head case for a long time. When adversity has struck, they've reverted into individualism.
Yeah.
It's been cover my own behind, point the finger at somebody else, and make sure that I don't get blamed. Well, this team seems to be completely different that way.
Yeah, I'm
we'll
glad
find
to hear
out.
that. Let me ask you about, Sam Bradford. And he was a top choice, but I mean, these Rams, they haven't had much. Is Sam Bradford somebody we should be concerned about?
Well, we didn't think so last year, did we? He was a rookie last year, had a good game against the Redskins, beat the Redskins, and that was part of the big problem that set things on a tailspin last year. The thing about Bradford is that he's got all the talent in the world,
right.
But it's only his second year, and he's not surrounded by a lot of great talent there. And that's the good thing for the Redskins.
He hasn't been intercepted very often.
No, but he also hasn't had many completions this year. He's only a 51% completion percentage, and really you need to be 60 and above to really be operating at a high level. Also, he's been sacked 11 times. There's only two quarterbacks in the league that have been sacked more than Sam Bradford so far this season. So, you can get to him, you can disrupt him, and he hasn't been that effective.
Not a lot of running for the Redskins last week. Can they refine the running game?
Mary Catherine, this week, I think if you or Brian were running back, you should be able to run well.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
No disrespect to the Rams.
No, you are disrespecting the Rams, but that's okay.
Wait, to be fair, I am very fast.
Yes, it's all about quickness. The Rams have been giving up a lot of rushing yards, and the thing about it is the first three games, the Giants have a pretty stout defense against the run, and the Cowboys are one of the best rushing defenses in the league, and so this is the time for the Redskins to reassert a running game. I don't think they can prove that they're a good running team against the Rams because everybody's a good running team against the Rams, but we can see the opposite of the negative here, I think.
Right.
If they don't run well against the Rams, you can put up a huge red flag.
Yeah, maybe grab a little confidence this weekend.
All right, Trevor, we've had, you and I, an off-the-air conversation about the last game. I don't want to look backwards too much, but I really am interested in this thing that happened where the Cowboys are accusing the Redskins of cheating. The center for the Cowboys muffed a bunch of snaps to Tony Romo, and at the end of the game he said, well, the guys on the D side, the Redskin defensive line, they were mimicking Romo's cadence, and it was throwing me off. They were echoing what he was saying, and it really messed me up. And the guy who they pointed to is a guy who used to play for the Cowboys, and so he now plays for the Redskins. He says he didn't do it. Coach Shanahan says it didn't happen. And then there was this mysterious line about apparently the centers were mic'd for sound and that they would be able to go back and find out. What do you, as we've discussed this, have you learned anything new about that since?
I've looked for it, Brian, and you sent me some good information about that. And all I've seen is accusations that the center was wired, and therefore, there would have been audio evidence, and I haven't found any confirmation of that. But to me, I haven't seen that before. The only player on the offense that's got radio communication real time during a game is the quarterback. And if a center's wired, the only reason would be, in my experience, that they're doing some sort of a TV show, post-production later. Unless, of course, he's a secret agent for some foreign government, and they're trying to pull national secrets from Tony Romo.
But the larger question here is, you are a long snapper. You know what it is to be a center. You've been down there on the line. Is this game played where somebody tries to throw the other side off by mimicking the quarterback's count?
Yes, that does happen, and it's cheating, and it's despicable, and they do it all the time. But then again, offensive linemen, we hold all the time, and that's despicable too. So
say it's not true.
Yeah, just don't tell anybody. It's between the three of us. That's all.
Right.
So yeah, the thing that strikes me about it, Brian, when you talk about what rings true, is that it happens. But when it happens and causes that kind of a debacle, the center snaps the ball at the wrong moment, it's almost a turnover, it's Monday Night Football, it's embarrassing and it's ugly, you jump up and down and make all kinds of screaming gyrations to the official to get them to pay attention to it. And then they do. They pay extra attention. They're supposed to anyway. And that's the Dallas Cowboys' home stadium, so it's not like the crowd was so loud that nobody could hear. When the Cowboys are on the field on offense, the crowd quiets down. So the fact that it happens so many times without the officials taking any notice at all tells me that even if the Redskins were doing that, the Dallas Cowboys had an epic failure of adjustment. So no matter what happens, it's a horrible, terrible, awful fail by the Cowboys center.
So getting back to the game, your prediction on how this will go, and are you still standing by your earlier prediction about the season, or are you coming around to my way of thinking? Yeah,
well, your way of thinking, I mean, remind the audience of your bold prediction.
I believe we'll win 10 games this season.
Yeah, Mary Catherine, what was yours?
I believe I was at 9 and Neiman was at 8.
Yeah, and I think I believe with Neiman. I think I was 8 too. I think.
Ye of little faith. Oh, ye of little faith.
Yeah, little faith. Well, I want to see it. I want to see it. And what we'll learn this week is the Redskins' mindset now. We know they're a more disciplined team this year. We know they've jettisoned a lot of the head cases and the selfish players. Now we'll see what they do after a deflating loss. And their preparation, because really the problem is not that you come out the next week on game day and you're not really, up for the game.
Right.
The problem is the preparation is deflated as well because you're emotionally drained during the week. So we'll find out how the Redskins respond. Do they come out and fight? Or do they suck their thumb and feel sorry for themselves? And so I kind of think they'll come out and fight. It seems to be the nature of this team.
And we will talk to you about it next week. Thanks for being here, Trevor.
Thanks, Mary Catherine.